Alright. So it feels like we are live yet again. Oh my, what is that noise? Oh my gosh. I went to go get a haircut and I've been meaning to do my laundry with no excuse for not doing it other than I don't want to, just like cleaning the floors. Every day I have less and less motivation to do anything. It feels weird. Like I feel like I'm just giving up on life. I don't get up early anymore. I don't really see anyone right now. I walked through Walmart on my way back from getting my haircut because isolation, desperation and isolation. And I was walking through the store with no particular thing, nothing I needed. And then you see this chick wearing a bathing suit inside the store, and you're like, I remember when I worked at that same place that it was common every day to see women show up in practically nothing. I saw more uh, bare booty there than I have in my entire life, where people just come in and just whatever they felt like and just do whatever they want. That's part of working in a store, working in retail, is kicking people out of the establishment because they don't hire proper security. At least we didn't. And so whenever you had to kick somebody out, you had to do it yourself. Now that I think about it, it's probably pretty dangerous to be kicking people out, especially when you were asked to do aggressive customer service, right? And aggressive customer service just means one thing: you're racially profiling a group of people and you're specifically targeting them. And I was like, that's just mean. But I'll tell you this, working in retail makes you well aware that businesses don't want certain people around. Like, I'll tell you this much. I've been saying this for years on this channel, but sooner rather than later, having to do with the prices in the grocery store, they're going to make it so that you have to prove that you have money in order to go in the store. Because the last thing they want is people, well, they're going to take away poor people's food stamps. They're on those food stamps because they qualify. If you guys have ever applied for food stamps, they don't give them to just anyone. You practically have to show that you have nothing of value and you have no way of making any money. And then they give you like $100 and you're like, that's it? How am I supposed to survive on $100 worth of food for a month? And again, it comes right down to it. That's a personal problem. Got to be a single mother to get them. Electrodynamic, yeah. When I was working in retail, I'd see some of the balances that these women would have. It was incredible how much money they got, but they also had like 10 kids. So, I mean, it's not quite Africa here where people are starving like that, but it's definitely not good either. Make a scene in orbs the picture isn't stretched. Oh my god. I've had this nasty nose hair bugging me all day long, and I finally got it out. It's huge too. It must have been jetting out of my nose. Oh my god. Do you hate that when you get that one nose hair that's in there? It like sways in the air inside your nose, and you know it's not a booger. And it's just, you pull it out and you're like, oh my god, how long did that take to grow in there? And it's super coarse. Ew. I hate nose hair. What do you mean by make a scene in orbs the picture isn't stretched? What does that mean? Like, whatchamacallit? I created this picture with, what's it called? With Kriya AI. It does a really good job with a very basic input. Like this morning I was working on the art for next Friday's video. I get one snotty that gets stuck in the corner of the nose. Yeah, like I was digging in there deep. I was to the second knuckle while I was at the light, and I was like, oh God, it's so annoying. And some of them are so hard to get out. Like they don't want to die. Like it's really hard to get some of these out, and they're so stubby. It's just not filling up the screen. Oh, you want me to fill up the screen? Okay. There. I didn't know that's what you were asking for. Okay. Now, you could get rid of the border. Aren't we being picky? Who's next on the chopping block at your company, MS? Well, if I had to guess, anyone that cannot come back to work, like if you got hired and you live in another state and you can't come back and come into the office 3 days a week, I think your goose is cooked. So, um, they're gonna make one of my friends who lives in East Mesa. Mind you, East Mesa, she lives in Apache Junction and she's been remote for 2 years now. She has to go from East Mesa all the way to the north side of Phoenix, like almost when you're leaving to go to Flagstaff, that big old gap where nothing exists between Phoenix and Flagstaff. She's going to have to drive 45 miles each way, 3 days a week. And that's in rush hour traffic. Much better than the last stream. I just made this. This is one of the thumbnails that I'm using for, like I said, next week. You guys are going to see a video, and she's animated in the introduction. I don't know why Kriya can only do a 5 second animation. Anybody know why the animations are so short? And the depression is gone. Maybe they should pay us more. Who will they replace them with? Whoever they can find. Sometimes they like there's a lot of set of turnover in sales. Um, I sometimes I feel like they've hired every salesperson in the country and then they just recycle them because I mean we all know someone that works at Amazon or someone that did work at Amazon. Everyone you know has worked there. And I was walking through Walmart about 20 minutes ago, and I was looking at all the employees, like all the weird shaped workers, right? Because if there's one thing that Walmart doesn't mind, it's doesn't mind if its workers are ugly, right? When you work in what I work, workers are always strange, right? No one, there are very, very few what I would consider attractive people that work in this field. I mean, there's a reason why we're all single and we're all ugly and we're all misshapen. We're Quasimodo, right? Someone said, yeah, MS isn't wrong. All the people I went to school with ended up at Amazon. Oh, hi, Jennifer. Say, yeah, everyone ends up there. Like the receptionist, the business, everyone that I know at work has either worked at Walmart, will be a future Amazon driver, or a past one. It's like the job, the default job. And they're always hiring, right? I mean, I was walking back to my car Friday afternoon after work, and I'm walking from the UPS store around the border of the shopping center. And as I make the corner, there's an Amazon driver sitting there smoking some of the devil's lettuce. And I'm like, wow, that's amazing. All he has to do is get out of his truck, away from the cameras, and then hide behind this little wall here, and then he can smoke up. Must be nice. Yeah, everyone ends up at Walmart. When I worked at Kroger's, it wasn't uncommon for people to go outside behind the store and smoke some lettuce. I mean, I was sitting outside at a bench feeling really depressed one day, and the girl that worked in the a produce aisle came up to me. It's like, "Hey, Steve, this will make you feel better." And I'm like, "I don't think so." But it was just like nothing. It's like, "Hey, you want some water? Here, Did you see the story of the woman lighting a man on fire with petrol in Australia? No. I mean, I did see a story last week about a woman who caught her husband looking at dirty pictures and cooked his junk in a crock pot. She made a stew with his Johnson, man. Talk about vengeful. They're cutting 40 billion from Medicaid, from the medical budget. Hey Marco. Oh, let me go. I gotta go put some stuff in the what they call the steamer. It's not called a dryer. The management calls it a steamer. That doesn't produce any steam. It just rolls your clothes around for 2 hours. Uh, into the steamer you go. Stanley steamer. If you know what that is, you probably don't belong here. Stanley steamer. There. Now, you wouldn't buy a house, it just literally piles of pajamas all over the floor. Um, that's what my house has become. All right, let's see who else is here. Marco, what do the men call you at the gym? Big man, boss bro. Marco, I don't really talk. This is the first gym. Like I've been going to the gym since I was a teenager, right? Every day. And this is the first time in my entire life in which I don't have gym friends. I say hello to the janitor, but that's it. Is it the millennial steamer? Big man. Oh my god, one of my coworkers, that's the one that I've mentioned that's on steroids, right? Comes up to me. He's always like measuring me up, right? We were walking together over to do some work the other day, and he just looks at me and it's like, dude, your arms are huge, and I'm like, dude, so are you. It's like when I had this girl staying with me years ago, and she every time she walked into the bathroom and she looked at my muscle magazines in the bathroom, right? Because that's where we read, right? We don't really read. I mean, I'm not going to sit in my living room and read something, right? So if you have to be sitting down with a purpose, I kept bodybuilding magazines in the bathroom. And she thought it was the most non-hetero thing that she'd ever seen. She's like, "Why are you looking at men in their underwear while you take a dump?" And I'm like, "They're bodybuilding magazines." And she's like, "Nope, that's just softcore." And I was like, "Oh my god." I better watch out. This woman might cook my Johnson in the crock pot. He might be a disciple of fleas. Everyone wears headphones. Yeah, everyone. You know the funny part, Marco, is that sometimes I'll see the bros and in their tank tops and skinny legs, right? And they've got these huge headphones on, right? They look like those the headsets that the air traffic people on an aircraft carrier wear, right? They're huge and they're trying to talk to each other, but no one can hear each other because they're all wearing headphones. And you're like, this is a meeting of the minds right here. People are intimidated by your maskmaster and will walk across the street to avoid you. The weird part is, so this happened to me the other day, Marco. I was walking into a Mexican food place, and there was all these Hispanic construction workers, right? They're like 5'5", 3, 5'5", right? And I walk in like right behind him, and like one of them stops like what he's doing, like ordering his food, and he turns his head and he looks at me, and I'm just looking at down at him. They're tiny. They're like child-sized Hispanic construction men, and you're just like, I don't know what to say. This is what you look like. Do you wear sleeveless shirts everywhere? No. No, I don't wear sleeveless shirts everywhere. I wear noise canceling headphones at the gym because everyone keeps grunting like they're dying. Oh my God, Jennifer. Even some of the girls, like this morning, I was Was it this morning? No, it was yesterday morning. There was a girl on the Smith machine doing hip thrusts. She was grunting while she was doing her hip thrust. And I mean, she was doing 3 plates. So, I mean, more power to her. I mean, she was the shape of Kool-Aid man, but she was lifting heavy. Lazy proles. I'm at work. David. Slaving on Memorial Day, huh? Well, I tried to go get my hair cut at one place and it was closed. And I thought to myself, you know what? That's awfully nice of the owner not to pay their workers on a mandatory day off. And that's how I spent my life. I never got a paid holiday ever. I can't remember the last time I got a paid holiday. If work wasn't open that day, you just didn't get paid. And that during the summer got expensive because during the summers when you get all your holidays, right? We have Memorial Day, and then we have Juneteenth, and then we have the 4th of July, and then we have Labor Day, and that's pretty much the end of summer right there. I do take creatine. I don't like a weight gainer protein shakes because they make you fat. So I have this rule where, like this morning, I was looking cut, like really cut. If I don't eat at night, I can keep my 6 pack. If I eat at night, that's when it goes away. And anytime that I eat anything, I swell up. There's like sometimes I'll come home if I eat too late in the day because I like to eat between 10 and 11 every day. But if I have to eat at like 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I swear to God, I get home and I look pregnant. Like my stomach swells up so badly. Let's see, Jacob. I've been a 1099 contractor for 25 years. I work every holiday. Oh, I know what that's like, man. No medical, no holidays, no nothing. 1099 is straight up plantation, man. Straight up. I've been listening for a while, man. I appreciate your content. Thanks, Jacob. I really appreciate people who come here and say nice things. Because for the people who come here and are just going to be a mini Dave Ramsey and tell all of the people that come to my channel that it's your fault that you're poor, that's ridiculous. We all work 7 days a week. I mean, I'm working right now. What do you think? This is generating ad revenue. So, small business owner. Yep. MS, when do you think your company will make you a 1099 contract worker? Well, Evil Court's been working on transitioning all the people in certain departments over to either part-time or a per diem or like an adjunct or assignment, right? So these are the ways. Remember how I told you guys for months that they were coming after your benefits? Well, that's how they're going to do it. They're going to transition your position to contractor so that way they're not required to pay you benefits. And then when you're working on contract, you're doing piecework. So at no point you're supposed to cost the company less. And so you can choose to leave the company or you can choose to become a contractor. And at that point, what's the point? Because they're not going to raise your wages. They're going to just take away hours and take away your health benefits. I don't know who can afford to live without health benefits. If you've ever tried to get private medical insurance, believe me, some people keep going to their crap jobs just to have medical insurance. If you ask any older person that works at the Kroger's across the street, they will tell you, I only work here because I need insurance. Let's see. Hey, Madco. Let's see. What are you up to? Daddy MS, my back hurts. Uncaffeinated and don't want to go to work tomorrow. Where is my... Did I leave it in the car? I was like wondering, there's something missing here. I'm like, where's my drink? I left it in the car. Oh my God. Thanks for reminding me. I'm going to have to go get it. Let's see. I don't want to go to work tomorrow. No one wants to go to work tomorrow. Jennifer C. Is this means we're getting an MS muscle body reveal? I was watching Athlean X a couple of nights ago, and he was talking about wearing that bodybuilding thong that you have to wear for competition. And there's a 40% coverage for your glutes, and there's 60% coverage swimsuits for competition. And I'm like, and the host, right? He looks at the camera and he's like, I think I'm too well endowed to wear that on stage. The great thing about bodybuilders is because they're all on steroids, their junk shrinks so that it fits into that little outfit. Let's see. Shakes and smoothies give me the Hershey's. I just eat meat. You know what? I had a tuna fish sandwich this morning. No, let me correct that. I was going to have a tuna fish sandwich, but instead I just ate the tuna instead of, so I wouldn't get the carbs from the bread. And it is not a filling meal. Let's see. Walter says, "Does MS do bodybuilding competition?" Oh my God, no. Athlean X was watching a YouTuber that is doing bodybuilding competition, and he is just talking about the grueling nature of doing bodybuilding competition because there's a lean out phase and then there's a bulk up phase. So most bodybuilders will lean out to a ridiculous level of body fat, right? And right before competition, they'll carb load. So they swell up like that because that's not natural. That's not the way they look all the time. And taking the steroids causes them to have wild mood swings because you're like jacked up with testosterone. So, girls that I know that date bodybuilders say it is not an easy thing to do. And the worst part about dating a bodybuilder, girls, he has low interest in you because with all of that, all those steroids, it means that his love, his junk is it's gotten particularly smaller. Like there's this guy. Oh, this is one of the worst stories that I've ever heard. So there's a bodybuilder that I once heard about who was dating a bikini bodybuilder, right? And I remember him saying that it's the hardest thing in the world to be laying in bed with one of the most beautiful women, a woman that I've ever met, and not be able to use my pickle because of steroids. And I was just like, hmm, if I had to choose between one or the other, she could be less attractive and I would stay off the steroids. I mean, let me tell you this though, steroids work. They work. They just work in mysterious ways. Like if I was going to be a serious bodybuilder, yes, I would take steroids. I take a lot of steroids. I just put steroids in everything, my water, my food. Hell, I'd probably wake up at night to do more steroids. Let's see. David says AI will replace and make contractors obsolete in IT. You're very right, David. They are automating so much of what we do that it is getting ridiculous. There's a reason why all the tech companies are shrinking up, and that's because they have more and more. They have AIs working on the next generation of AI already. So, yeah, it's not good, people. It's not good at all. It's not good for you or for us. Let's see. TL test. Let's see. Marco says, "Are you cultivating mass? You can dirty bulk like same suck and eat burgers and fries and pizza, ice cream, cheesecake." No, I don't eat any of those things. I'm a very, very simple person. When it comes to my diet, if I'm at home, I'm going to eat something really, really simple. Like today, I just ate tuna salad. That's probably all I'm going to eat today. And I did my heavy lift this morning, chest and back. I always throw shoulders in on chest day too. For some reason, it doesn't feel complete. Like to me, when you're working the top part of your body. So my morning, this is typically my Sunday workout, but I skipped it yesterday because I drank too much. Anyhow, this is what my typical chest workout looks like. It starts with a very heavy press, usually just 3 reps on a heavy press. 3 sets, 225. And then I'll move over to a back machine. I'll do a row, and I'll do a heavy rows. And then after that, I'll go to the pec deck machine for chest. After that, I will switch over to a single arm row, a back row. After that, I'll go to the cable machine and I'll do side raises with rope face pulls. And then after that, I'll go do pull-ups and dips. And then after that, I go and I do the seated shoulder press, front shoulder. So you got to hit that little part right here in the front of your arm, so it evens out. It gives you that three-dimensional shoulders. Like, I wish I could show you guys. Like, you have this huge bump. Like right here, my front shoulders is the size of my whole hand. I can hold my front shoulders with my hand. Like I can feel the bulk of it. It fits in my hand like a baseball. So, do you know who Rich Plana is? No, I do not. Okay. Grunting makes you lift more. Grunting makes you lift more. I love that. Have you do you bulk in the winter and cut in the summer? No, I'm not. I'm not into bodybuilding. My workouts on the days that I can, and this is I try to do this 7 days a week because I want to be in the gym 14 days or 14 times a week, right? Morning lift, afternoon cardio. So I train more just to keep myself leaner, but sometimes it doesn't work. Sometimes you'll go on a dirty binge. But the great thing about it is that I will go on a dirty binge of eating stuff, and then I'll just balloon up. But the second I stop eating, I'll slim right back down. And because I'm so big on the top, it looks ridiculous. Like sometimes I'll pass and I'll my own reflection at work, and I'll look at myself and I'm like, I look ridiculous. Like absolutely ridiculous sometimes. Let's see. Marco says Dave Ramsey can tell you about bodybuilding. I'm sure he can. Dave Ramsey seems like he's got, you know, a Wiener Schnitzel the size of his pinky finger. Question X: how much till ASU goes bankrupt and closes? I just did a video this morning about that, about the pointless. So I was watching this YouTuber who made a video about all the people that go to college and get nothing out of it. I've been saying this for many, many years, but education's a scam. He talked about in this video, which I should link in the description. He talked about 40% of people who start university or college never finish. They end up in debt for the rest of their lives for classes that were never going anywhere. Athlete X take gear. You know, I like Athlete X, but sometimes, you know, I don't think he lives in reality. They all take gear. Yeah. Marco, do you think Michael Ohem is fake natty? Oh, God, natty. That guy embodies every single stereotype that guys who lift. I mean, I don't know how he does it, but he is every single stereotype from half reps to steroids to eating. Like, there's no way he could pass for being a natural bodybuilder. I mean, and his training is just disgusting. He has dirty training. I mean, I'm not a guy that's going to do full full reps every single time, but at least finish one real repetition of something with full range of motion. Just once. It's just terrible. Sometimes I'll watch it. He'll come up on my screen, like on my recommended, and I'm like, no, I can't watch this. Nope. Let's see. Movie Theater King Bird Storm 8000. Now, that is a name worthy of a feel-good movie of the year. It feels over for most of us. Do you think places in Asia will be the future of the world within the next 5 years? No. Sadly, movie theater guy, I think that a lot of people in America aren't going to make it. I hate to say that, but people aren't making it now. Can you imagine how much worse it's going to be just in a couple more years with the like this morning, a lot of the news agencies were like, there's this one right here. Where this is the title of the article right here. Look at what this guy's doing. I mean, you tell me, is this not someone that's. This is the title of the article. That is not a man that's fit. Let's see. Bodybuilders drink lean like the hip hop rappers. Why do you think I drink White Claws, David? I don't like White Claws, but they're low in calories and extremely low in carbs. Let's see. High TRT trend insulin. Do you know who Rich Pana is? No, I do not. Let's see. Cali muscle. Question MS. In the age of AI, how quickly will colleges close across the country? I think that AI is going to play a big part of teaching students. AI has shown that it's better at teaching than human beings are because it shows no bias towards students. A lot of the problems with our education system is that teachers learn to like the students that they like, and the ones they don't like, believe me, they're not your friend. Like those super hot teachers, touching the students, God bless their souls, but yeah, they have their favorites. While I was studying psychology, there was one thing that always stood out, and that's the halo effect, in the sense that there's certain people that get treated better, and it's everywhere you go. It's not just school. It's in jobs, it's in restaurants, it's at the gym. Like, there are people that are truly just ignored in our society because you're ugly, or you're fat, or you're fat and ugly, or you're short. And those people have no choice. I mean, I was walking through Walmart today and I'm looking at the employees and they're all misshapen monstrosities, right? One's super fat, one's super short, one's got like, I don't know, they're just a mixture of all of these unattractive traits. And you're like, anyone can work at Walmart. Let's see. I have a home gym. There's only so much tweaking in my face I can take. Okay. Yes, I believe the grunts give you more strength. Imagine how worse the next generation of American workers will function. They will essentially being replaced by AI, tech, and foreign nations. Places like nations seem to be a better alternative. The problem is, movie, that a lot of people are living paycheck to paycheck. In order to make a big move, you need a lot of money. Like, I just walked out to my car to go to the haircut place and I was throwing some trash away, and there was everything in Europe, in someone's apartment, in the trash. Everything. His socks, his shoes, his blankets, even the sheets on his bed. This is a person that's being evicted. Or this is the cleanup after they got evicted. So once you can't pay your rent, they give you 10 days to get out. And after that, you have so many days to get your things. And if you don't get them, they just come over, grab everything in your apartment, and they throw it away. Great thing about that is the employees have told me before that sometimes people leave really valuable things in their apartments when they leave them. Like that, he told me that he gets TVs and computers all the time out of evicted tenants. What do you think about injections of oil in muscles? Oh my God, like that Brazilian, what was it? What was it? Like Brazilian Hercules or something? That guy, when you inject oil into your arms, what you're asking is to have your arms amputated. It's like women that get the butt implant, the Brazilian butt lift. I mean, did you see that woman that they had to remove everything but the hole? Like they had to chop off the entire back part of her body because she got those injections and her body rejected it. And the doctors had no choice but to remove the entire area. Do you train the governor? Oh, every day the governor gets a beating. He's still angry about the beating I gave him this morning. Society's a scam. I dropped out completely. Society is a scam. If you're not rich, society isn't for you. Just like capitalism. Capitalism works great as long as you own capital. But if you're like me, and you don't have, what's the phrase, a pot to piss in, capitalism isn't for us. It's for them. Who are your favorite bodybuilders? I don't really like watching strongman competitions, but at night, my favorite thing to watch at night is CrossFit women competitions. So I don't follow any bodybuilders. John Wayne, how many total sets should we do in a week? Don't want to overtrain, and I do failure for all sets. I don't believe in. I have an upper body, lower body, and then a rest. I walk for 30 minutes on my rest day. Then I have another lower body, upper body, and then on weekends, I that's my 4-day rotation. So let me explain to you guys. So Monday is typically just arms, just biceps, triceps. Tuesday is a walking day. I walk for 35 minutes on the treadmill. Wednesday's up my heavy leg day. Thursday's my heavy upper body day. Friday is a pseudo rest day where I do arms. Saturday's my next leg day, and Sunday is my chest back day. So that's how I break it up. That works for me. I tried to do a 3-day-a-week leg workout. No way. 3 days a week of heavy lifting was too much. I was staying sore in between workouts. If you're sore in between workouts, you're doing something wrong, or your body's not getting used to it. I've been working out for 20 years. So this is the routine that works for me. It may not work for everyone. Like, I spend a lot of time training and learning to train for decades now. And you have to find a schedule that works with your body. If something that you read doesn't work, even these apps that calculate your macros, you have to eat where your body wants to tell you. No two people are going to respond to training the exact same way. You may have naturally, like I have a naturally large chest. Like if I have a 54-inch chest, right? So if I put the tape measure, it's 54 inches right across my my little nips. And so naturally, I gain a lot of weight in there very easily. But my quads and hamstrings, even though they're defined, and I have really defined calves, you still have to deal with the fact that men typically have small legs. There isn't the infrastructure there. Like I have really defined hamstrings and quads, but when you look at it, it just looks weird. Just like with my arms, it's like I have really, really skinny wrists, but you come up to past the elbow, and it's just like huge, right? They look like, what would I say? They look like little footballs. That's what I'd say. Look like little footballs. Oh, Blade Obsession, welcome back. You made it back from your job. Thank goodness. Hey, Alonzo. Hello, Millennials team. Been a while. How has the economy treating you? Well, these paychecks keep buying less every week. Like, I was at Kroger's yesterday, and I was gonna buy some lemonade, and then I looked at the price, $6.99 for a small container of lemonade, and I'm like, lemonade is no longer on my affordable sheet. It's getting harder and harder to feed yourself these days because the cost of food in the store is going up. Like it feels sometimes you walk into the grocery store and the prices went up overnight. Darren, howdy y'all. Hello, Darren. Let's see. I mean, high schoolers are becoming illiterate in every sense of the word. I just got recommended a video that said that people are forgetting how to read because people don't read. And I mean, I've literally read hundreds of books for school, and I don't enjoy reading anymore. In fact, almost all my interactions now with AI or with search engines is now done through voice. Like last night, I was asking ChatGPT to tell me what Sylvia Plath's personality would be like in present day. It's very good. I'll have to tell you that. I was very drunk, but it was very good. Let's see. Hot Hotep. Just walking the dogs outside costs money. Ask me how I know. Because you didn't pick up their poop and you got charged. I used to have an apartment complex that required a DNA sample from your dog. And if they caught you leaving poop out there, they'd kick you out of the apartment complex. Hallelujah. I'm in the wage cage right now. Tell me how those bars feel in the wage cage. X question MS. You hear about the Federal Reserve will stop making pennies. They told companies to round up on products they're selling. I mean, when was the last time you really touched a penny? I've seen the same quarter out in the parking lot for weeks. No one will even stop to pick up a quarter anymore. Like, I have quarters right here that I got last year because the laundromat, the credit card thing would go out. For some reason, they needed to reboot the server that handles those transactions. And sometimes they won't do it. The only way those servers get rebooted sometimes is if there's a power outage in the neighborhood. So that place, I don't miss that freaking laundromat one bit, man. Oh, it's so gross in there. That first night that I came in and I stepped in human dew. Ugh, gross. Lou Ferrigno. Alonso. God, Lou Ferrigno. Like, he had a speech impediment, and that's why he played the Hulk, right, in the original Hulk series. But, man, that guy's ugly. Let's see. Sheen Combs. P. Diddy. Oh, my gosh. I would love to have gone to a freak-out party or freak-off party. Just to see. I mean, just to show up with a camera and be like, what's going on here? I like to watch the tall female athletes with a big booty. The CrossFit girls, they're all super tall, man. They are shaped like goddesses. I mean, I love chicks with muscles, man. My favorite muscle on a girl is shoulders, and it is so rare to meet a girl in real life that has actual shoulders. Like, I can't stop looking. When I see a girl that has like defined shoulders, I think it's so hot. Let's see, Darren. I like Arnold. Time for der flies. And then a schmel steak and a salad. Oh, I love that movie. Pumping Iron is one of my favorite movies of all time. The part where he says it's just like, the gym pump is just like, firing his hot load. I didn't realize that Arnold Schwarzenegger was rich before he started bodybuilding. Like in that scene where he was talking about going to community college and renting out an apartment that he owned and getting more real estate. I never knew that he was a businessman. I always just thought he's that guy from, what's that most famous movie that he's in? Commando. Commando was one of the first Arnold Schwarzenegger movies I've ever saw, and I thought it was the coolest thing. Like, people, like, I would say some of the people that inspired me to start pumping iron were people like him, like seeing him and like Rocky. Sadly enough, Rocky was a great inspiration to start getting in shape. Hi, Raquel. Happy Memorial Day weekend, Proles. Blue's probably in her, what do you call it, in her mailman car right now. I'm sorry, Raquel, that Blue was being tough on you yesterday. I don't know why. Let's see, Darren. I will walk 3.5 miles to work tomorrow and then the same back and lift light weights to get the muscle groups I didn't work during the day after moving heavy stuff all day. I'll tell you this. When I got the most chiseled in my entire life, I was pushing shopping carts at Kroger's 8 hours a day. I remember coming back to school and one of my coworkers just walks up to me. He's like, damn, dude, you are jacked. And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, look at you, man. And that was from the dehydration and the constant walking. 10 to 15 miles a day is what the average Amazon worker working in a warehouse will walk per day, per shift. Like you're talking about swollen feet every single day. Bro, there's no gym for your face or height. That reminds me of that scene in the movie Dodgeball. We're going to turn your Frankenstein into a Frankenfine. Church in session. Hello, the boy 11. Women prefer 6 feet and above. Attractive men in the face with blue or green eyes prefer with men with money. So most men don't fit that model. Marco, not every woman is going to be a Victoria's Secret model. It's something that comes up every time that I hang out with Mello is that she gets insecure sometimes around me. Like I can tell, like there's just certain phrases she uses when she gets insecure about other women. Like there, I like going to certain places and she doesn't like going there. And we've never really talked about it. It's just there's like I feel it sometimes. Like she just I don't know. It's just kind of weird the way that she gets sometimes. Magco, question MS. If Gen Z decides that they don't want to go to college or if every few attend will impact the market, I think there are plenty of people out there already who don't want to work. And people like the girl that swipes the gym cards right now, right? She's 22. She's going to community college right now. She lives with her parents. She doesn't need to try. That, she's a freaking knockout with muscles, right? She's a track athlete. Really, really good looking girl. I mean, I would say that she could easily make a large amount of money doing an OF page. Like, men would give her money. Trump can bench more than you. Yeah, Mark. He's he's actually pretty tall, so I wouldn't but he's also really fat. So I don't know. That would be tough. Gen Z doesn't want to drive, go to the college, work, or really do anything. No, Gen Z just wants to sit at home and play video games. Marco Polo, Terminator. Terminator was a great movie. Like Sarah Connor, when I think of the woman that runs the business office at the other building, the first time I met her, I thought Sarah Connor. She had the look, the little muscles, the meanness. There's a certain meanness in women that's associated with toughness. Raquel, no worries, team. I still like blue. Blue's feisty. Let's see, Millman. It's literally a cage with four of us in here. It's a closet with four desks. That's it. I was literally a closet they turned into an office. Oh my God. Some of the people that I work with at other offices have told me that they've taken away their office space because they need to create more space for people that are having to respond to the demand that the return to work, to return to office. And he's like, man, they're putting me in here with the sink. So now there's a he has to sit with the janitor while the janitor's he has to sit in the room where they keep the janitor's cleaning products now. So they gave him like a little end table and that's where he sits. I was like, damn, dude, that sucks. Yeah, the big guys are often really, really big. Like, I don't know if you've been around any football players, Marco, but I was surprised at how strong quarterbacks are. You know, the big 6 foot white guys from Nebraska, the corn fed guys. Those dudes are huge and they're built. Oh my gosh, they're literally like a human rectangle, right? Their shoulders are completely square and they're just enormous guys. And they're just really, really tall too. Oh my gosh. I when I worked up there at the stadium, I worked at the ASU football stadium for 3 years, right? And I got to work around these student athletes. It was incredible to see how big these guys were, man. It was just amazing. Let's see. You get to watch YouTube at work. I mean, you can. I see some of the office workers watching like soaps at their desks, but you're not supposed to. I mean, remember, if you're working at Evil Corp, any Evil Corp in America, they're watching you. They can see where you're going. Your boss can log in and watch your screen all day long. Donald Trump, 6 feet, 6 figures, 6 inches, and six pack. 6 inches. I love it. Walter Mesomorph. Oh, yeah. Just big, big, big dudes, man. Traits are the bare minimum 666, 6 feet tall, 6 figure income, 6 inch tallywhacker. Although I did meet a girl one time while I was working at Walmart who came in and told me that her giant boyfriend had a thing the size of her thumb. She's like, yeah, he's 6'6", but this is all he has. And I was like, ooh, I would have given up some of the height for a little length, if you get what I mean. In Office Space, the movie, when they put him in the basement, weren't paying him anything. His red stapler. What was it? Marvin? I think that's what his name was. Or Melvin. No, I'm pretty sure it was Melvin. Uh-oh. Speaking of things that we have to do, how long have I been on here? Okay, I'm going to cut the stream in 10 minutes. I'm going to make it exactly an hour because I got to get to the gym. Talking all this time about the gym, it's like I have to be at the gym at 2 because I go at the same time. 2 o'clock's a nice middle of the afternoon because if I work out too late in the afternoon, I will have too much energy to go to sleep. So, and this is exactly what I mean, guys. You have to find things that work with your body and your schedule. I know people that will eat dinner at 9 o'clock at night. The last time I super loaded a heavy meal at night, I had these bizarre. Think I told you guys I did a video in the morning. Like, I spent all night with nightmares and how do I put this? Like, I ate so many carbs. Like, I ate 2 large helpings of rice with chicken. And it's like my brain was trying to go to sleep, but the energy from the food kept causing my eyes to open every like 30 seconds for 8 hours. It was like being trapped in some sort of nightmare creation machine. It was awful. One of the worst nights of my life. So let's see. Imagine engineering graduates graduating in 2027 and told, sorry, we have AI now. We only require people with 10 years of experience or perfect experience outside of college to work our below average job. I think most people are working below average jobs. I think that the amount of good jobs in our society is greatly exaggerated. I think there's only a fine little pool of jobs that can actually make you financially comfortable. And you and I aren't part of that pool. Oh my gosh. She's using her boyfriend as the breeder and looking for a side man with a big governor. Laugh out loud, the breeder. She got a breeding bull. You meet a lot of people like that. Women, I read an article one time on Yahoo where a woman said, I love my husband, I love his 6 figure income, but I wouldn't want my child to look like him. Damn, talk about a kick in the nards, man. I wouldn't want my kids to look like my husband. Oh my God, I keep poking at my nose hairs, and every one that comes out is bigger than the last. I literally have to do this every night. Let's see. It's on the phone connected to a headset. What? It's on it's on the phone connected to a headset. Most jobs HR tells you bachelor required, master's preferred. And hourly rate is $1 above minimum wage. Take it or leave it. Reminds me of that lady who posted an interview she had onto TikTok with a guy who owned a mental health facility, and he was asking her if she would take $12.50 an hour and be on call 7 days a week just in case someone didn't show up. And she would have to manage the entire facility. And she's like, I asked for a reasonable $40,000, and he came back with $12.50 an hour. Now I was like, no, I don't have a great job. I'll tell you guys that much, but my boss tried to give me $12.50 an hour. I'd be working at McDonald's. DNA test your kids. If you don't give me children, you're not entitled to my income. Divorce that gold digger. It is kind of cruel to say to your husband, or I guess you wouldn't say it to his face, but I don't want my kids to look like you, but I love your income. Ooh. If a man stays in that situation, he stays because it's the best he's going to get. Like the other day, I think it was, no, it must have been Thursday or Wednesday. I was going to Walmart after work, and I'm walking through the store and I see like this really, really, really ugly like guy. Like he's some sort of a Middle Eastern guy. I'd say like either I wouldn't know. He was like skinny and dark and had this like super matted hair. And the girl that was with him was a foot taller, blonde, gigantic hands, and she's walking behind him like he's her slave, or like he was walking her on a leash. That's what it felt like when I saw them walking through Walmart, and I'm like, that guy probably doesn't have the best equipment, and he probably smells. Like I remember, God, this must have been the year 2006. I was renting a room in a house with Eastern Indian people in it. And oh my God, the smell. Like when they were, doing the the mambo in their bedrooms, the smell that came out afterwards, oh my gosh, it was horrible. I lived with four computer science students at that time, and they were all working on video games. This is what these guys did in their free time. Every computer science major that I know is always working on a video game. They're always working on some game, right? That they think is going to make them rich. Let's see, Darren. Yeah, just in case you think being that side guy is fun, it's not. When you're poor, I'm walking because I could ask one of a dozen women at my job for a ride, but then the drama would start. The drama, huh? Millman nice. Okay. Let's see. Walter. Laugh out loud. Oh my goodness gracious, guys. I I enjoy talking to all you people. I don't understand why some of you keep coming back. I don't consider myself to be a person who has exciting things the stuck and the girl at the salon, she's like, if I find out what your Facebook account is, I'm gonna be stalking you all the time. And I'm like, I mean, a woman that looks like you wants to stalk a guy like me. Stack. Stink. Stankin. The stank. The skank, the stank, the skunk. I don't know, dude. I don't know. There's certain people that have certain and it's cultural, right? When okay, so when we smell them, they smell bad to us. When if you ask anyone in Europe or Asia, what do Americans smell like? Americans to foreigners smell like cheese. So remember that the next time that you're thinking about what someone else smells like from a different culture. Marco, I got Grand Theft Auto 5 from Epic, and I didn't like the way that it played. I couldn't get used to it in my hand. I had the same exact problem with Assassin's Creed. I bought a collection of the games. I bought like 5 games in a bundle, and I couldn't get past the introduction of Assassin's Creed. Like, I just, for some reason, all I played for a long time, and I've said this 100 times, all I ever played was Call of Duty. So I had that, really fast twitch, back and forth, side to side thing going on in Call of Duty because I played Call of Duty keyboard and mouse for 10 years. So anything that's not that motion, I'm not good at. It's because your code words get through the heavy YouTube censorship. Heavy code words. I mean, you have to use a lot of code words. If I were to use my regular language, I wouldn't be here anymore. I learned that quickly the last time I got demonetized. And this is advice that I give all YouTubers. There are around 800 words that will get your channel instantly demonetized. And sometimes they add and they take away to that list. But there are certain words, like there's a YouTuber that I want. I've been watching him for a year. It's called The Void. He he talks about missing people and disappearances. Really nice guy from the UK. I talk to him occasionally on here on YouTube about his channel because he keeps bringing back his face cam, right? So I keep asking him about that. It's like, do you get more views when you have a face cam? And he always says, yeah, it really does help with views because doing YouTube's his full time. I mean, if I had to do YouTube full time, I probably could as my main job. I mean, if I was on here 6 hours a day, 7 days a week, I think I could borderline make a living. But it's a big risk. Marco Polo, does Mello have a big set? I would say that since she started working at her current job, she's lost a lot of weight, guys. A lot. Mello's probably dropped 20% of her body weight in the last 8 months. I think we talked about it. And she started this new job last August, and every time I see her, she looks significantly smaller. Like she's on her feet all day long working retail. And I'll tell you this much, it's hard work. It's hard on your feet to stand all day. And it's even harder when you're pushing and pulling and lifting. All her job is manual labor. Like she's like a little robot, right? This is what Mello does. She gets up at 3, she's at work at 5, she does her work like her little robot work. She walks over, she walks through the aisles, she stocks product and she builds displays, right? That's her whole job. And so doing that, it's really intense, like physical work. So everything on Mello's gotten smaller, more compact. I'm not gonna say she's not skinny, but she's like the Mello that I met. Because I met Mello last year at the park for the first time, right? The Mello that I met last year is gone. Current Mello is at least 15 to 20% smaller than when I met her. So, yep. So she's small. Marco. Let's see. Maybe there's a reason for the smell. Like, oh, we shouldn't mix. No, I think the reason for the smell is because other parts of the world don't eat as much cheese and milk products as Americans do. That's why Indian people smell like curries because a lot of their food is just curry and you smell like what you eat. Well, let's just put it that way. So when Asian people come to America, they aren't big milk drinkers in Asia. So when they smell us, they're like, that's weird. You smell like milk. And not milk that's not spoiled, too, either, guys. When they say you smell like milk, it's not a compliment. Let's see. We come back because your voice is pleasant and you're laughing with us, not at us. Darren, thank you. I was wondering why you guys kept coming back. Yeah, it's a warning signal. It's a warning signal. We smell like cheese. Well, it's not really working, is it? Steve, do the AI pictures you create, do they resemble you in a small, insignificant way? Just curious. No, they're completely randomly generated by Korea, by Korea AI. So I will when I create these images, I can show you guys the script that I use. Here's how I make my videos. So I'll let the genie out of the lamp here. Let's see. Okay, so this is what I use to create my videos. Oh crap, I can't use that because it's got my name on it. Let me take a screenshot of this real quick. Let's see. Okay, so. All right, so this is how I create my videos. So this is the criteria that I use to create my videos. So first, I'll take the text from like any YouTube video that you can see on YouTube. All you have to do on YouTube is go to any video that you want. And so I'll go to, let's say, one of my videos, right? I'll go to this video and I'll pause it, and then I'll come down here, and then I will go in the description. I'll go to show transcript. I dump the transcript into ChatGPT. At that point, I use this. Generate 10 video titles based on this text. I got these keywords I got from other YouTubers. And so then I will take that, those 10 titles, and then I will add this. Act as a 25-year-old female help desk worker. So that's the personality it's going to write the script from. So that's really important because sometimes I'll use school teachers, sometimes you'll be a truck driver, sometimes it'll be a doctor. It's all a matter of what I want the script to do. So today's video I made with this, a help desk worker. And so I tell it to generate a script from this transcript is what I want. From there, I'll add the title that it generates. I'll add go viral, do short form videos, use full length. Then after it's created the script, then I generate the 3 topics. After I generate the 3 topics, then I go and I do introduction, opening monologue, closing monologue. And this right here is how I generate the pictures. Make her extremely beautiful is part of it. So I take the title of what I'm talking about, and this is what creates this image. So that's how easy it is. There's nothing special. You just have to do the research to be able to figure out all of those different keywords is what it takes in order to be able to build it. So yeah, a warning signal. Let's see. Okay, I would get at least 10K subs before I show my face. Okay. Having Prole church at work is my revolution. Millman, I'm glad you're enjoying it. All right, not working for 2 years is my revolution. That's a great way to to revolt behind the scenes. Yeah, so I just wanted to show you guys how simple it is to generate this AI content. Remember, I read scripts, right? I don't write this stuff. ChatGPT does all of the hard work. It makes the titles, it makes the backgrounds, it makes the talking points, and it even closes the video with the closing monologue. None of this, for any of you who's out there thinking it's like, oh, you sit there and you write this stuff. No, I work on the animations through AI. AI's vision of what I want is what it creates. I like what it creates. I mean, that's pretty hot. But no, it does it all itself. And let's say I don't like this. Let's say it generates this and I want something like when I create a character like this, I start with the hair. Hair. It's either going to be black, brown, blonde, or red. Or you can do variations. You guys know I like braided hair. So there's mermaid, French, what is it? Dutch, waterfall. Any, like, I have a whole listing of different hair types that I can give my AI women. From there, we go to eyes, which are green, blue, or gray. I like to pair, as you guys can see, I like pairing brown eyes with red hair for some reason because they're extremely rare. Meeting a natural redhead with brown eyes, I think I've seen it once or twice in my entire life, and I was just staring at her like, whoa, because they normally have green or blue eyes, or what redheads always have. So if you ever meet a redhead with brown eyes, very, very rare. So then I go with the eyes. The shape of the face is usually almond. I always have her smile, and I like this angle that you guys are looking at her. I like her to, usually I'll push her forward in the backgrounds that you guys watch. The thumbnails, I try to bring her in closer to the camera. But on scenes where it's going to be in the background, my main character typically is about 20 feet back from the camera. If I do an animation, I typically animate the sky. I like rain. I like overgrowth. I like sunset. As you guys can see, you can tell it exactly what time of day, for what kind of lighting. The background, you guys know I love broken down churches, hospitals, burning cars. Anything that represents a society that's collapsed is usually what goes into the background. Because this is why this is called dystopian entertainment, right? You guys come here, you guys don't come here to feel good. You come to Millennial Steam to feel bad. I'm assuming if you're coming here to feel good, I'm sorry. That's not the content I create. But that's how I create my images. If you guys have any questions, you guys can put it down in the comments, like the exact phrase that I use in order to generate thumbnails. Because remember, I've only been working with AI for about 6 months. When I created this new Millennial Steam channel, after my last channel got demonetized, I created this channel as a rebirth to Millennial Steam, because the last channel that I had hundreds of videos, but in the background, it was usually just something static. And someone told me after my channel got demonetized is that YouTube doesn't like channels like mine. They want channels that have actual video in them. So they told me, in order to get past that, so you don't get demonetized again, roll some pictures in the background. And so that's what I've been doing. And I didn't know what I put into the background, what I thought you guys would like to see. Oliver told me from the UK, he's like, hey man, put more chicks in your videos. And I'm like, okay. So we have 650 chicks now as my thumbnails, and thousands of backgrounds now with pictures. So let's see. I have central heterochromia. So I have hazel inner iris and blue butter iris. My eyes can appear blue and green from a distance in different lighting. My hair went from platinum blonde as a kid to dark gold as an adult. Rare phenotypes always interest me. Well, I'll tell you, one of the things that most interest me are people that have those strange yellow eyes. I saw yellow eyes on a girl for the first time at Starbucks a few months ago. She remembers me every time I come back to Starbucks. She's like, hey, it's good to see you again. And I'm like, the only reason I don't freak out when this perfect stranger says that to me is because she has yellow eyes. It's called amber yellow eyes. And it is the strangest thing because she looks almost like cat-like in the face because of the yellow eyes. But I wouldn't say she's thin. She has yellow blonde hair with matching yellow eyes. Strangest human being I've ever seen in real life. Anyhow, so it's people like that. So in ChatGPT, you can also do, at least for me, since I've done so many of these, I use ChatGPT to generate eye color. I can generate hair type. I can generate, whatchamacallit. So eyes and hair. I like really exotic looking things. Like I love to pair black hair with gray eyes. That's my favorite. I gray with black hair is probably my favorite of out of all of them. But I also like I would say I like platinum blonde with amber color eyes, which is something that's very, very I don't think I've ever seen it in real life. Blonde with amber eyes is not something like the amber color. It's almost like an orangey kind of color. So it's weird. But anyhow, the behind the scenes of how I make things. Someone's asked me to make a actual live video or start another channel where I show you guys how exactly to do this. Because it's not a secret. I don't have any trade secrets that I'm keeping from anyone. What I do is simplistic. I do it every day and it makes money. So it's a job. Remember that, guys. We content creators, we do this for money. We waste our time making this content so people will come and look at it. I've had more compliments about the background since we got the reboot of Millennial Steam in August of last year than ever before because I didn't know what to put into the background. That's why sometimes I would just use a static image or no image in the background. It was a true podcast before this. So girls with black hair and green eyes or blonde hair and gray eyes. That's what I was going to say. Blonde hair and gray eyes are absolutely amazing. Like the girl that swipes the cards right now in my gym, she has super dark hair and super dark brown hair, right? Like dark, the darkest brown hair you can imagine. And she matches that up with a super pretty face, and she's an athlete, and she has gray eyes, like steel gray eyes, which is again, you combine all of those different factors into one person, and you have an extraordinarily beautiful person that doesn't have to do anything except for show up every day in life, and she's going to be a winner. You don't get those kinds of traits and become a loser. There's a reason why many of us end up losers. We're ugly. We're uninteresting. We have nothing going for us. And the worst part about being ugly is that you attract other ugly people to you. You're the natural kryptonite to beautiful people is being ugly. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. I know I was a little serious there at the end, but you guys get it. I mean, some people are born to win and some people are born to lose. From the moment that I was conceived, wherever I was conceived behind that Taco Bell by Johnny Sixpack and Susie Rottencrotch, I was always intended to fail at life. There was never going to be a point in my life where I was going to be a winner. I never had a chance at being a winner. Never got the height, never got the looks, never got the right education, never met the right people. Some of us, we're going to die losers. It's sad. But we live in a world where beauty is a big part of your overall quality of life. And if you don't have it, there's nothing you can do. Like Marco said, there's no gym for your face. There's no gym for your personality. There's no gym that's going to make you better than what you are. A lot of us try, but sometimes you can't run away from ugly. Ugly goes right down to the bone. Ugly people are treated like dogs. Oh my gosh, you guys wouldn't believe how much Mel loves her damn dog. We were eating, and well, while we were waiting for our food, she told me earlier, a couple hours earlier, that she wanted to get another dog that looks identical to her current dog, right? Identical. Like she was showing me pictures on her phone. It's like, this is a dog I want to get. This is the dog that I have. And I'm like, it's a clone of the same thing. So anyhow, I got to get to the gym because somebody's got to do something with this, right? I hope you guys have a great rest of your Memorial Day. Remember, don't do anything I wouldn't do. Touch the governor, shake hands with the governor, but stay away from Susie Rottencrotch because I guarantee you, you'll be scratching yourself tomorrow after spending time with Susie.